Welcome to the Transformational Soul Show with your host, Ruth Soltman. Are you ready to experience more stability in your life? You can change your life and be who you are meant to be, your authentic self.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Transformational Soul. My name is Ruth Soltman, and I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. Welcome if you are watching or listening on any of the platforms that we're live streaming on right now, which includes Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and X. And thank you if you are watching the replay on one of these or listening on one of the audio platforms that we're available on. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Hello, Robert and Richard and Joyce. Welcome. Good to see you. And please hit the thumbs up button or the like button. Please share the show information. I greatly appreciate that. And if you're watching or listening, please say hello. I'd love to hear from you. I invite you to check out my website, ruthsoltman.com. That's RUTH, S as in Sam, OL, T as in Tom, M as, T as in Tom. No, I lost my spot here. M as in Mary, A, N as in Nancy.com. You can go to my website and find out all about my books and my services and my oracle cards, because I have a couple of decks of oracle cards that I have designed and that you can order. And if you haven't already, please come and join the Goldylocks group over on Telegram. There's so much amazing energy, so much information is shared there. And we communicate, on a daily basis, like all day long. So it's a lot of fun. I hope you'll join us over there. And you're bound to see some familiar names because, a lot of the people are the ones that watch our shows. Also, Goldylocks Productions has an online merchandise store. Please check that out. You can get so many cool items on there. And the Goldylocks Oracle cards as well, which I may or may not be using tonight. Probably will be. They're really amazing, and messages from all the different show hosts, and you can have your own and pick a message every day. Hello, Sam. Nice to see you. And Sarah, welcome. Thank you to all of you who show your support by liking and sharing the show information and the show. I greatly appreciate that. And I want to wish a very happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating this week. And let's send out some love, light, and healing to all who are in need. And let's remember Robin McGuire and her son who are recovering from surgery. Caroline Carey's daughter, Carrie. Veronica, Holly, and let's send out a little extra to Kim Smith. If you would like to leave a tip or donation, you can do that via my Venmo. You can do a Rumble rant on Rumble, or you can do a Super Chat or Super Sticker on YouTube. Your tips and donations are very much appreciated, and they do help to cover the cost of the show each month. Thank you to all of you who joined us this past Saturday for the Spiritual Message Circle. It was so much fun. If you didn't get a chance to catch it, go back and watch the replay. I guarantee you will enjoy it, and you will receive a message and some kind of information that really, really resonates with you. It's hard to believe it's already the end of February, tomorrow being the last day, because it's a leap year this year. So there's that extra day in February. This month has flown by so fast. Spring will be here before we know it. So how is everyone doing adjusting to all this energy that we've had lately? It continues to ebb and flow like crazy. And, all we can do is kind of ride those waves, right? So a couple of weeks ago, Sam, thank you for your donation. Greatly appreciated. A couple of weeks ago was Valentine's Day, and we were talking about love and different things like that. But tonight we're going to be talking about self-love. Now, what is self-love? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? It's love for one's self. Now, why are we not taught this when we are children or at a young age, to love ourselves, to show ourselves love, gratitude, appreciation? Because we should be. It would definitely make our life a whole lot easier. Loving yourself is not selfish. Loving yourself is a necessity. If you cannot love yourself, then how can you truly love someone else? Right? Crazy rainstorm and wind here if I lose you. Okay, Joyce. Well, I don't think you will. I think you'll just stay right here. Because, if you can't love yourself, how can you truly, truly love someone else? You cannot, because you can't give away something that you don't possess, that you don't have, right? So think about it. Just think about that for a minute. How can you give away unconditional love to someone else if you don't have it for yourself first? When you learn to love yourself, everything changes. Of course, the way you feel about yourself changes, but it also changes and reflects into or onto every single relationship that you have. You feel much more love for other people. Sarah said, I have felt the need to sage a lot more often lately. Intense energy for sure. Yes, very intense. And it seems like it's coming in waves, right? Sometimes, to be really, really strong, and then, it's not. And then it'll be really, really strong again. So, it's kind of like just try and go with the flow, because that's the easiest way to go. So how do we learn to love ourselves? It might be easy for someone to say you have to love yourself. Okay. But you can't just automatically do that if you don't know how, right? So how do we do that? How do we learn to do that? Through acceptance. Isn't that what we all want? To be loved and accepted for who we are? If we're not willing to love and accept ourselves, how can we expect anyone else to love and accept us? Hi, Kim. Nice to see you here. So how can we learn to accept ourselves? Every single part of us, through gratitude. What is it that you are not willing to accept about yourself? This is something you probably will have to think long and hard about. And why are you not willing to accept it? It's a part of who you are. We have the capacity and the ability to change what we don't like about ourselves, right? Yes, change. I know some people don't like that word. They think it's really scary, but it doesn't have to be. Change is good. How boring would life be if everything stayed the same all the time? So be open to change. We have to be willing to accept everything about ourselves in order to learn to love ourselves. Maybe you have anger or intimacy issues. Go within. That's where you're going to find your answers. Figure out why you have those issues. Heal those wounds that have been left festering for years and years. The ones that you've been afraid to heal, that you've been afraid to even look at, much less try to heal them. You will thank yourself when you do. Do you have body issues? Don't like your thick thighs? Well, be grateful that you have legs. Seems silly, I know, but seriously, there are people who don't have legs, people who cannot walk. Be grateful that you can. Are you feeling physically weak? Do some strength training. Most things you don't like about your body can be changed, but they can only be changed by you, right? And a lot of times that's the issue. What does it take to motivate you to make changes in your life? You can change the way you eat. You can change exercise. You can, no matter what your age and no matter what your physical condition, there are things you can do to make improvements in your body and in your life. Everybody wants to feel better. Everybody wants to feel healthy. Everybody wants to feel strong. And sometimes some of us have to work at that a lot harder than other people. But when we know better, we do better, right? So make small changes. It doesn't have to be like you wake up one morning and all of a sudden, your whole entire diet has changed. You have a gym membership, you're working out, 2 hours a day. You don't have to do things like that. Make small changes. Over time, they add up to huge steps. Don't worry about getting a top-notch parking spot when you go shopping. Opt for one further from the door. Take those extra steps. It might seem like it's nothing at the time, but over time, it all adds up. Replace your soda with iced tea. Use a natural sweetener if you need it. Add the 6 mixed mushroom blend to your morning coffee from Cultivate Elevate. It will help you think with more clarity. It will give you more energy. And I know this because I use it. Drink plenty of water. Like, these are all such small things we can do to improve how we feel every day. Use the Celtic sea salt because it helps to get the water into your cells to hydrate you. It's amazing how crappy your body can feel just from a lack of water. Tired, no energy, headaches. A sufficient amount of water makes a huge difference in how your body feels on a daily basis. When you use the Celtic sea salt, you aren't running to the bathroom every 15 minutes either. Your body is absorbing the water. It's getting into your cells instead of going straight to your bladder. So it's getting in there. It's hydrating you. It's doing what your body needs it to do. Robert, thank you so much for your super sticker. Sarah said, wow, that hits home with me for sure. I was just thinking about myself that the cellulite is yuck. But now I'll revamp that and be grateful for the body parts that cellulite is on. There you go. We're all going to have different things about our physicality that we don't like. That's just normal because we're human. But it's okay to not like it, but you can still embrace it and you can still acknowledge it and you can still accept it. Good night, Richard. Have a great night at work. I'm going to write your name down right now, Richard. Replace one meal a day with a healthy meal. That's a small step. And you don't have to go like crazy, with things that, really off the wall things, but just eat something healthy, no processed foods, something whole. If you can eat organic, a lot of people can't afford to get organic all the time, do the best that you can with what you have. And my goodness, read your food labels. If you are buying processed food, read your food labels. There's so much crap in processed foods nowadays. Things that we don't need. Eat food in their natural state as much as you can. They have a very high vibration, and that helps to raise your vibration. So do some research for yourself. This is all a personal journey, unique to each one of us. We have to find our own information. We have to figure out what resonates with us, because what my body needs is not going to be what your body needs, and vice versa. There's many vitamins out there. There's many supplements, good ones that are there out there. If you're not getting enough of those vitamins or supplements in your regular diet, you might need to, supplement it. But do your research on those, because a lot of them, especially the more inexpensive ones, have a lot of added ingredients that you don't want. So you really have to be mindful of where you're spending your money. Look into intermittent fasting. Now, people hear the word fasting and they kind of freak out a little bit. It's not like fasting like what you're probably thinking. It isn't anything outrageous, but it gives your internal body time to rest and recover and reset. And it has a ton of benefits for your body. But I want you, if that's something you're interested in, do that research for yourself. Get that information for yourself. Declutter your environment. This is a great time, right? A lot of people are spring cleaning. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your workplace, your desk. How many of us, has a very covered desk? Because when you do that and you declutter it and you have things a little more neatly organized, it will dispel the stagnant energy. You can feel the difference. You can feel the difference. You know what it feels like when you walk in and the house is clean. The energy feels different. You might not be able to put your finger on what it is, but that feeling. Spend some time in nature to relax and refresh. Meditate outside. That's awesome. If you have an area where you can meditate outside without being disturbed by others. Garden. There's a lot of healing power in gardening. And then you'd be growing your own fresh veggies or, flowers. But you can do herbs as well. Get some bird feeders and enjoy the birds. Listen to them greet you every morning. Many years ago, when I was taking care of my mom, we had, oh my goodness, several bird feeders in the backyard. And every morning we'd get up and go have our coffee on the back patio. And those birds, it was like a symphony. It was just so beautiful to listen to these birds. Sometimes the birds would wake you up. Because my mom's bedroom was like right by the back. It faced the backyard. So a lot of times she would hear them and it would wake her up. She loved the birds. She would go out and chit chat with them every morning. Watch the sunrise. Watch the sunset. All of these things will add to your overall health. Remember, our health isn't only physical. We have to be healthy on every level of our being. And when we love ourselves, we naturally want to take better care of ourselves, right? So listen to your body. Let it tell you what it needs. The more in touch you are with your body, the more you will learn to love it. You have to be very intuitively connected with it. Let it tell you what it needs. Give it what it needs. Let it work for you instead of against you. Just like you would never put water in your gas tank and expect your vehicle to run properly. Don't put junk food, and by that I mean crappy food, garbage food, in your mouth and expect your body to work properly. Because it's not going to. Give it what it needs. And it's going to work for you. How many times have you felt like, geez, you get up in the morning and just feeling kind of, and this might hurt or that might hurt. Maybe you're moving a little bit slower than usual and you think, geez, my body is not working for me today. It feels like it's working against me. I've had days like that where I felt like that. But when you start to take better care of it, give it more love, and we give it love through many different ways. It's not like we don't usually give ourselves a hug, right? But we show ourselves and our body love by the way we take care of it. And remember that our body is the housing for our beautiful, beautiful soul, our beautiful spirit. But love, self-love and self-care, they go hand in hand, right? Because when we love ourselves, we take better care of ourselves. And when we take better care of ourselves, it seems like it helps us to love ourselves more. We need to we already know that we need to fill our cup before we can share it with others, right? When other people see the way you treat yourself, the way you care for yourself, it gives them the idea that, hey, I can do this too. Most of us were not taught this. We were not taught to love and care for ourselves in that way. But it's time for all of that to change. We know how important it is. we know that if we can't give ourselves that, and we don't possess those things, we cannot give them to others. And the way we treat ourselves shows other people how we want to be treated, right? If we're abusing our bodies and just being really terrible to ourselves and not treating ourselves well, other people see that and they think, that lower vibrational person over there is like, ooh, there we go, I got one. But when we have respect for ourselves and love for ourselves, people see that and they respond to that as well. So believe that you can heal yourself. Know that you can heal yourself. Believe that you can love yourself unconditionally. Feel it. Know it. It's so, so, so important. And, back when I was a kid, it wasn't all about, it was always, put other people first, always. Put yourself last because that's what you're supposed to do. And then when you become, an adult with that way of thinking, you neglect yourself a lot. You have work that's important, or a career, or school, or children, or spouses, and you always put them first and take care of them first. And then you just run ragged, for many, many years until it all finally catches up with you. Now, sometimes it may, catch up with you in the form of an illness, so that you have to stop and say, okay, now I have to stop and I have to take care of this. Sometimes it can be, it could be in the form of many different ways it can show itself. So you have to learn now to put yourself first, to take care of yourself first. You have to replenish all of that energy that you're doling out to everyone else, or you are going to run yourself dry. You're going to run yourself ragged. You're going to be resentful towards the people that you love, even though they're not the ones asking you to act like this and to be like this. But you've always thought that this is what it was supposed to be like. Hello, Robin on Rumble. Nice to see you, or nice to have you here. But it's so important. It's so important. And if you're having any kind of issues, I really advise that book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, because you can go in that book, look up the symptoms or illness that you have, and it will tell you what caused it. What emotional things in your life caused your body to get into the state that it got into. And then there's affirmations you can use as well. It's a great, great book. And everything that I've gone in there ever for anyone and looked up, it was dead on. It was dead on. 100% exactly what they were going through, or, what they were feeling. Now, a lot of times, we carry around stuff maybe from childhood or from our teenage years. Maybe you were bullied in school. Maybe you were abused in one way or another. If you haven't healed those old wounds from that, you're still carrying that around. It is still affecting who you are today. So you have to get rid of that. You have to heal those issues. You have to heal those wounds so that you can move forward in your life. I know I talk a lot about healing, but if I wouldn't have done it myself, I wouldn't realize how important it is. It's just amazing, all the stuff you carry around with you. All the stuff that has been ingrained into you since you were a child. If you were raised in a religious household, there's all of that stuff too. Maybe your parents blamed you for certain things. Maybe your parents didn't love you unconditionally, so you never knew how to do that. Sad to say, but I have known a couple people in my life that never experienced unconditional love from their parents. And that's all I ever knew. So I thought that was just the way it was, just the norm. And finding out that it wasn't that way and that everybody didn't grow up like, was growing up like me, was kind of a shock for me when I was a child. So if you feel like you're stuck, If you feel like there's a lot of stagnant energy around you, do something to change that. Do something to change that. Make small changes in your life. Move more. Movement helps to, helps to get rid of, dispel some of that stagnant energy. Like when you clear out the clutter, um, you know, dance around the kitchen, whatever you need to do. So I spend a good portion of my time watching some of my grandkids. And my granddaughter Judy is 3 years old, just turned 3 in December. And I was watching this child today. I mean, just really observing her. Everybody's always saying how she's such a happy girl, and she really is. She's up 99.9% of the time. She's got this huge smile on her face that just lights up her whole face when she smiles. And she's got really cute little dimples too. But everything that she does, no matter what it is, she does it with pure joy. And just when she's playing with something or outside blowing bubbles, it's like such a joyful experience for her. And that is so beautiful. We need more of that ourselves. And sometimes you can, if you have a hard time with that, like finding joy in your life right now, do something you loved when you were a kid. Maybe you love to jump rope. They have a lot of jump ropes for adults, athletic wise. Get a jump rope, start jumping rope. If that's something that you really loved as a child, and it's going to trigger something. It's going to trigger something very positive for you. Maybe you like to bake cookies. Maybe you like to play baseball or basketball when you were little. Tap into some of those things that you love doing then and do them just for the fun of it. That's what kids do. They do things just for the fun of it. And it just amazes me. There's no filters with children. They just say what they feel, or what they're thinking. And that's a pretty cool thing too, because a lot of information we filter and we hold back when we should be speaking our truth. And filtering out some things I feel like is important, as far as, you can filter things and say things in a nice way or a kind and loving way. It doesn't have to be nasty, but, you have to use your own discernment with things like that. So I picked a card for the group before the show, and it says the gift of command. It's about our throat chakra, and it's got number 19 on there. But we all probably have something that we need to say that we haven't said. Maybe it's to someone else. Maybe it's just to ourselves. Be very mindful of your self-talk. I mean, how many times, have you maybe you're writing something out and you misspell a word and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. How could I do something so stupid? Okay, your body hears that. Your body hears that. Don't say that. Oops. Oh, look what I did. Laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself so seriously all the time. Every little thing is not a major catastrophe. It really isn't. But be very mindful of how you talk to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Speak to yourself in a manner that you would speak to someone that you love, right? Learn to love yourself more and more and more. And the more you do, the more love that you have to share with other people. And you are going to find how it greatly enhances your other relationships. It's absolutely amazing. It enhances it so much more because you have so much more love for other people. Now, I have these self-love oracle cards, which I'm going to use these tonight. They're a little bit, not exactly like what I was thinking they were going to be, but they're so great. So I'm going to use these tonight for some messages if anyone would like a message. And, you're not going to wake up one morning and just be completely in love with yourself. It takes time. You have to build that relationship with yourself. But the relationship that you have with yourself is the most important one of your entire life, because you are going to be with yourself always, right? Other people may come and go. Other people aren't always 24/7, but you are. You are 24/7 with yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to like yourself. And when you are and you enjoy your own company, you're never lonely, right? You are never lonely. You might be alone and by yourself, but you are not lonely when you enjoy the company that you are with. Okay. Let me see here. I know. Oh, here we go. Robert. Okay, Robert. Robert, thank you so much for your super sticker. I don't know if I said that. I think I just saw it, but I'm not positive. I greatly appreciate that. Okay. Okay, there's the comments. Okay, so Robert, I'm going to give you a message first, and then Sam. And whoever else would like a message, please, please, please write it down there in the chat. Okay, Robert. Okay, where's my other cards here? What other cards do I want to use? I don't know what I'm feeling drawn to yet. Oh. It's funny how sometimes you get a new deck of cards and you immediately love them. And then there's other times you get a deck of cards and you're like, I don't know. And after you use them for a little while, they deeply, deeply resonate with you. Okay, this is funny. Okay, Robert. So the first card I pulled for you, it says resounding sound. And it's the number in here is 18. And this is about your throat chakra. And I feel like you have something that you need to say that you are not saying. I also feel like you need to be standing in your truth more. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Don't be afraid, because it's your truth. It needs to be said. And I know this card I got for you recently, I think a couple times. Trust the divine plan. Trust the divine plan. Know that things are unfolding exactly the way they need to be. So what I'm feeling is not so much that you're not trusting the divine plan, but maybe you're a little bit impatient waiting for it to fulfill itself in your life. So be a little more patient, Robert, because everything is working out the way it's supposed to. Everything is coming to fruition. Things are happening behind the scenes in the spiritual realm that you can't see, that you don't know about. And it's going to seem like things happen pretty quickly because they're all going to kind of come to a head at once. So just keep trusting in the process. Keep trusting in the timing, because sometimes, and I know this from my own experience too, we feel like we're ready for something and we're like, come on, bring it on, bring it on. But Spirit knows we're not ready yet. We have some more work to do first before we are ready. And if it's something that would have happened in our life when we weren't ready, it would not have worked out the way it's supposed to work out. So be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. Be patient with your manifesting. Okay? So I hope that resonates with you, Robert, and makes sense to you. Okay, Kim and Joyce, I got you guys down too. Let's see. Sam. See what we have for you. Sam. Okay, Sam, the number on your card is 9. And it says soul lesson, clarity. Clarity. If things are not clear enough for you, ask the angels for clarification, verification. You can always ask for help. If you're getting messages, but you're not sure exactly what they mean, you can ask them. Ask them to be more clear. Ask them to show you in a way that you will definitely understand without a doubt. Because sometimes we can get a message and it just seems very vague. Like that message could be meant for anyone. Anybody could interpret it in their own way. So when you are needing any kind of clarity, just ask them for signs that would, make sense for you. And I love this card. Say no. It's okay to say no. You don't have to do everything that everyone wants you to do. It's okay to say no. And you don't have to give an explanation. When you say yes to someone, you just say yes, right? You don't give an explanation of why you said yes. So when you say no, you don't have to come up with a reason, an excuse, or anything. No is an answer. And don't be afraid to say no. Sometimes we don't want to say no to people because we're afraid they're not going to like us, or we're afraid they're going to get mad at us. Don't worry about that. If they do, that's their problem, not yours. So it's okay to say no, especially, you have to think you're using your time, your energy. You want to make sure you're putting your time and energy where you want it to be, focusing on what you want, not some, every willy-nilly thing for everyone else. So know that that's okay. I used to be one of those yes people when I was younger. I can remember 12, 13, my mom would ask me to do this, or my grandma would ask me to help her with that. Yes, 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 all the time. And then one day it hit me, and I remember sitting in my room, in my closet. Well, the closet was probably like 8 by 8. It was a huge closet. And sitting in there and crying because my grandma was having like a dinner party or something and wanted me to come and help her with dinner, and I didn't want to. And I just remember sitting there crying because I didn't want to go, but I was still going to go and do it anyway. We can't do that to ourselves anymore. We know better now. I'm fine with saying no now. If I don't feel like doing something, or I don't want to do something, or I want my energy used towards something else, I'm fine with saying no. So, practice it if you have to. But it's really important to be able to say no when it's something that you don't want to do. Okay, Sam. And let me get a message for Richard, since he had to go to work. Sam said, makes so much sense. Awesome. Robert says, thank you. We're definitely looking forward to change big time. Good, because it's coming. You're welcome, Sam. Richard. See what we have from Richard. Ooh. Okay, Richard, the first card you got, number 29. I think so far all the ones I've pulled were odd numbers. Wait, that might be 24. Never mind. Yeah, it looks like 24. It says self-devotion. Self-devotion. What I feel from this, Richard, is that you need to take more time for yourself. And I feel like you need to meditate. I don't know if you already meditate or not, but I feel like it would really benefit you to sit in that quietude for a little bit and just let the information come. Just let it come. Don't try to make it come. Don't try to force it. Just let it flow, and it will. And reach for the stars. Reach for the stars. I feel like whatever you want to do right now, you are going to accomplish. I feel like You should set some new goals for yourself. Things maybe that you want to accomplish or things that you want to bring into your life this year, like the next 6 months or so. And don't be afraid to go out on a limb. Don't be afraid to try something new, right? Because when we do that and we go outside of our comfort zone, that's where all of the good stuff is, right? You have to step outside of your comfort zone. That's where all the amazing rewards are. Sam said, too much energy hitting lately. Is anyone else feeling the same? Yes, yes, yes. It was affecting me a lot today. Very nauseous, and I know it was from the energy. I don't know. I'm getting to where I can kind of tell the difference now. It wasn't from not eating. It wasn't from eating. Nothing, settled in my stomach. It was just that feeling. And I feel it in different parts of my body, which might sound really weird, but I do. And I can tell that's what it is now, where before I didn't really know. Okay, Richard, Joyce, and Kim. Okay, Kim, let's see what we have for you. Ooh. This is kind of funny. I went through these self-love oracle cards earlier today, and just wanted to make sure that some of the printing wasn't too small, blah, 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 and I could see them okay. And when this card came up, immediately I thought of you, Kim, and it's the card that came up for you. So I think that's just amazing. Hello, Linnell. Nice to see you. Okay, Kim, let's see what else we have for you. Okay, Kim, release. Oh, wait, the number is number 2. Release to Mama Earth. And what I feel like for you is you need to be grounding yourself more. You need to feel grounded. You can visualize this. You can do this through meditation, but you can visualize this. Visualize your feet. Visualize yourself as a tree and your roots going down into Mother Earth, and you can ground yourself that way. You can walk barefoot and ground yourself. You have to try what works best for you, and only you will know that. But I just think it's really cool that card came up. So any of that excess stuff, you can release it. Release it. And speak up. Don't be afraid to speak your truth, no matter what that truth may be. And don't be afraid to tell people no. It's not always a popular answer. I understand that. When I ask somebody, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that, I'm always hoping they're going to say yes, but it's not always feasible for the person. And we have to stop putting what we want on hold so that we can help someone else to get what they want. I don't mean that in a selfish way, but we need to put our needs first. Definitely. So try some more grounding exercises. I feel like that would really, really help you, especially with all of this crazy energy lately. It can make us feel a little flighty. It can make us feel a little lightheaded. So try that. Joyce. What do we have for you? Well, okay, Joyce. Let's see. So the first card I get for you, Joyce, the number on it is 31. And it says, the gift of dance. And what I feel from that is they want you to move more. Um, like I said earlier, moving around helps to clear the energy. It helps to dispel the stagnant energy. So maybe you can dance around your kitchen when you're cooking. That's a lot of fun, especially with your grandkids. I know your grandkids might be a little older and they might think grandma's just a little cuckoo, but it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. But I feel like you don't necessarily have to dance, but I feel like they're wanting you to move more, move around more, that you will feel better if you move around more. And become a clear channel. Don't let anything, not necessarily plug up, but don't let anything clog that connection that you have, okay? Make sure it stays clear so that you receive messages clearly and quickly, and that you hear all of the messages that they're wanting you to hear. Because I feel like you're getting a lot of messages, a lot of information still. And, some things you should be writing down just so that you don't forget. Unless you're one of those people that can remember every single thing. And if you are, kudos to you, because I'm definitely not. I have to write stuff down, or, it kind of just leaves after a little while. And here's a perfect example of writing things down. So I was going through my computer. I have one computer that I use for writing. It's an older one, but I'm very comfortable with it. And then I have the one that I'm on now that I use for my show. And just turned on my computer today, the one that I write on, and I realized I have a project on there that I started last year that I completely forgot about. Completely. So if I wouldn't have, had the outline done for this project, I would have probably, who knows when I would have ever remembered it. So move more. I feel like that's something really important for everyone, to move more. We can all use that. Okay, Sarah. Now, Sarah, I have to apologize to you because when people comment, like Richard left, so I wrote his name down right away, or I would forget because I wouldn't see him in the comments anymore. And last week, I forgot to give you a message, and I apologize for that. Oh, I love this. Okay, the number is 15, Sarah, and it says the gift of gratitude. Gratitude. I love that picture. Those look like kind of look like daisies, and those are one of my favorite flowers. But the gift of gratitude, you know what gratitude is. You know how gratitude and showing gratitude affects you and affects your life. It helps us to live in the now. And that's why I kind of feel like the card came up for you. It's just as a reminder to live in the now. It's fine to plan for the future or to have goals and dreams and things like that, but we don't want to live in that space. We have to pay attention and be mindful of what's going on right now. Right now. This is the only time we have, is right now. The only time. So be grateful for the gift of gratitude, because it is a gift, right? Not all people experience this gift. There's a lot of people. I know one person in particular that I can think of from years ago. And this person, no matter what anybody ever did for her, I never, and I knew this person probably for like 10 or 12 years in my life. Never one time did I hear this person say thank you to anybody. Never. Aw, and love yourself. Love yourself, Sarah. Isn't that cool? That's what we've been talking about. And I know you do. And I know you're doing so much wonderful, wonderful healing work. And it's opening up new spaces inside of you that you're filling with love for yourself. And the as you continue to do that, there'll be more of those little empty pockets here and there that you can fill with unconditional love. So continue on that journey, Sarah, because it's exactly where you need to be. So I hope that resonates with you, Sarah. Okay, Robin. Robin is the host of the Robin's Cosmic Soul Food on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Check out her show when you get a chance. Joyce said, "Thank you. I have one young grandchild yet. He's a character. Been clearing out things lately." Good. Then you're changing up the energy. That's awesome. My problem is I started like cleaning up my closet, decluttering a bunch of stuff. And then I get to a place where, okay, I got to stop for a little bit. And then, it's hard to go back to it. So I have to finish. But I like to declutter. I like to get rid of things that I haven't used in forever. Sarah said, "I love those cards. Thank you so much. You're so welcome." Okay, Robin, number 17. And it says soul lesson, truth. And it's about speaking your truth. Now, when I first saw this card, the first thing I thought of is being honest with yourself, speaking your truth to yourself, not to anyone else, but to yourself. So many times, I'm not saying that you do this, Robin, but I know a lot of people do, including myself. I have done this many times. We will tell ourselves a story. We'll make up, well, I did this because, and we'll just create this whole thing when what actually, like the actual reason why we did what we did had nothing to do with that. But a lot of times we don't want to look at ourselves in that way and be totally honest with ourselves because it's hard. It's hard to be totally honest with ourselves. It makes us very raw and very vulnerable. But we have to start there, being like that with ourselves in order to project that out to other people and be like that with other people. So if you have something that you need to say to someone, Robin, please just say it. You're going to make you feel better. You know that. But always be honest and truthful with yourself about everything. And do something different. Do something different. Something fun. Something joyful. Something that's going to bring you a lot of joy. Whatever that might be. Just do something different. Okay. If anybody else would like a message, we have a few more minutes. Just let me know. I'm going to pull a card for the beautiful Tiffany White Sage Woman. Now, her show is on Sundays at 8 p.m. Spiritual Insight. An amazing show. Let me just tell you, I have learned so much from this woman. You guys really need to tune into her show. That's where I learned about the mushrooms and the Celtic sea salt. So check out her show as well. You are welcome, Robin. You are welcome. Okay. Ooh. Okay, Tiffany. Number 15, that means anything to you. You also got the gift of gratitude. The gift of gratitude. And like, I know that you know what that is and that you feel that yourself. And I know that you are grateful for the many blessings you have in your life. I love that card. It's so pretty with those flowers. And just a little reminder to, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment and retreat retreat. Now, the first feeling I got about this wasn't like, wave the flag and retreat, like surrender. But I feel more like you need some rest. I feel like you're doing a lot of stuff for other people and that you need to take a little bit more time for yourself. Um, I always feel like we can all take a little bit more time for ourselves. We all need that me time, and whatever. And the more things that you have to do or the more people that you have around you, the more me time you're going to need and the more you're going to really need to have that time. Even if you could only, take 10 minutes a day, that's 10 minutes that you have all to yourself. And, it doesn't need to be when you're using the restroom, okay? You need to take that time. Just, read for 10 minutes or watch some videos that you really enjoy. I love those videos where they do those, I forget what it's called, but where they'll be like, let's say they're in a mall and they'll start singing and dancing. I forget, it's got a name, but I can't, off the top of my head, can't think of what it's called. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And like one person will just start singing and then other ones join in, and then all of a sudden they're dancing. And it's like the coolest thing ever. And those really move me. I just feel that wonderful energy from it. And the people really, really enjoy it. Flash mob, that's what it is. That's what they call it. And I've seen a lot of those videos and they're really amazing. And it's amazing that people will go out and do this. So whatever it is, that you might enjoy personally, you need to do that. Take that time for yourself, guys. We all need that. Maybe you want to spend it meditating. Maybe you want to spend it putting out your intentions of what you want to manifest. Maybe you want to spend it, sitting in the closet, eating a piece of pie. I don't know, but we're all different. And whatever it is that will bring you great joy, that's what you need to do. We all need more joy in our lives. Life can be very chaotic and stressful, so we have to stay in our quiet place. Linnell, so very thankful every day so very thankful every day for being here to shine as bright as possible. Yes, yes, yes. Let me pull you a card real quick, except I put them away. Well, here we go. Accept what is dying, Linnell. Let go of whatever it is you need to let go of. If there's something that you're hanging on to that you don't need around anymore, let it go. And the number on your card is 26. I am who I am. I am who I am. You are who you are. And you're a very special and unique being. We all are. We need to embrace that more. We need to be who we are. We need to accept who we are. And we need to love who we are. I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Next week, when you come back, it's going to be March. It's going to be March. So that's exciting. March is the month of spring and Melissa Park's birthday. So I'll see you guys back here next week. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. I love you all. Good night, everybody.